It's Tuesday, September 21st, the last day of the summer. Here in the studio, St. Louis, Missouri, with PC Mike, the Giggler. I'm your host, Logan, talking about Titans Season 3, Episode 8, titled Home. This is Mostly Superheroes. Hello and welcome to Mostly Superheroes, a weekly pursuit for the world's best stories, with an emphasis on live-action superhero stuff. I'm your host, Logan, back again after a week off. You guys look too relaxed. Welcome back, PC Mike, the Giggler. Giggler, let's start with you, man. You feeling refreshed?
Yeah, man. I missed you guys, though.
Did you?
Yeah, at least I got to see you on Saturday over the weekend.
Yeah.
Mike, though.
You missed Mike.
It's been 2 whole weeks almost.
Yeah, I mean, geez, I missed you so much.
It's like the Zoom times when we would Zoom and really only see each other electronically.
I was looking back at the MCU library at like some of the older reviews, and I just see all those ones where we're like at our own houses, and I'm like, what a time that was! Like, all right, we got to do this remotely because of the virus.
Yeah, never again.
Never again. Oh, studio forever.
Knock on some wood.
I hope.
Yeah, come on, Andy. I mean, we know that anything's possible at this point.
We're vaccinated, bro.
Anything is possible.
That's true.
I'm just kidding. Clearly, that doesn't help all the time, but
yeah. PC Mike, hello.
Hey,
how are you?
I'm well.
Welcome back. Nice hat.
Thank you.
We're gonna hear about some ZOU here in a minute. Little college football town.
Yeah. For the What You Watching, Logan kind of gave me some grief. He's like, "What'd you watch this week?" I said, "Nothing really new." He's like, "You haven't watched anything new in 12 days?" I said, "I've been a little busy, sorry." But
I found that impossible. I was like, 12 nights, you're at least watching one thing.
But I am current on things that I've currently watching.
Okay.
I was there like a month ago when the same thing, and I had to talk about like Outer Banks Season 2 again. Best show ever.
Well, yeah, best show ever. Carrie's watching that right now.
Good.
And I've been seeing episodes here and there. I think that's just a bad show, guys. I'm going to tell you that right now.
Okay, I'll talk to Carrie about that.
Yeah, we'll get her review in here when she's like made her way through. But no, guys, welcome back. Yeah, thanks for letting me take a little breather during the midweek last week. Still got in here over the weekend. So if you're a listener, you know that you didn't actually go without an episode. You're welcome because we're showing up for you. We knew that we were talking about Titans and we didn't want to take a break. We're actually sitting here talking about during Patreon. At least for me personally, the show's been a little hard to follow, just a little bit, to where the details are just a little fuzzy each week.
Hopefully they come together like Memento and like they just kind of converge.
Yes.
And we all know what's happening, but I'm a little lost on some things.
I just needed like 1 more minute of the episode, maybe.
Well, hopefully today we can clear it up for ourselves and for the fans.
Yeah. So maybe do some Prediction Town, as you call it.
Prediction Town for episode 9. I think it sounds good. And speaking to the fans, let's go ahead and open it up with a very special edition of Fan Mail today.
Fan Mail.
Fan mail, we always feature fans first on Mostly Superheroes. If you're a longtime listener, you'd know this. We also have a studio phone here in the basement. You can call us. You can leave us a message. You can send us a text message. It's 754-CALL-LOG. That's 754-225-5564. And yes, folks, he finally did it. We called him out months ago. He's one of our Patreon patrons. A very special shout out today for Dan P., who left us a voicemail about What If on Disney+. If it's okay with you guys, I'm just going to play this thing, and I'm just going to give you a little teaser. There's a question that we all need to answer.
I'm ready.
Are you ready?
1, 2, 3, you go.
Mike, are you ready?
Oh, I'm ready.
Let's hear from Dan.
Hey, Mostly Superheroes crew. This is Dan P. from Patreon. Just wanted to call in. I've been called out by the Giggler for not making this phone call yet, but had a question for the crew that I'd like to hear you discuss on the upcoming episode. In the spirit of Marvel's What If show, I'm curious, what if stories would all of you like them to explore in the future, perhaps in a season 2? So we'd love to hear kind of what you all are thinking, what scenarios would interest you, and thanks for everything y'all do. Really enjoy the content.
Oh, yeah. Thank you, Dan. That is an excellent question and another great example of what we're looking for on the studio phone. Brain starting conversation. Something that gets the juices flowing, something that gets the mind going. And yes, we did a little pre-thinking about this one. I kind of did this one semi-live. I know exactly what mine is, but I think I want to start with our non-MCU resident, PC Mike. So
All right.
you know the question.
Yeah. So mine was off the cuff when we were texting the other day, and I just went, this is what I want.
Okay.
What if Jean Grey picked Wolverine, Logan over Cyclops, and they had a relationship instead?
Oh, wow. You know what I love about yours is that it's not even really the MCU yet.
Yeah.
I say yet very clearly because it's coming. But I like that you've just pulled like a scenario from, I mean, you're talking about the X-Men films, really.
And the cartoon.
I guess the cartoon too.
I mean,
it's
maybe the
similar.
most famous meme of all time.
Is
Wolverine.
reading a book?
Isn't he holding a picture of her?
Yeah.
Oh, it is a picture.
The actual thing. It's episode. It's in the first 5 episodes of
Andy,
season
Jesus.
1.
Well, I remember the episode on Mostly Superheroes where you talked about that famous meme.
Yeah, exactly. That's the only reason why I remember it. I'm not like a X-Men cartoon nut.
Well, and then
I'm not either.
and then in the movies, the Bryan Singer films, that's like a main story point, right? Like Jean Grey and Cyclops are very obviously a couple, and Logan and Cyclops are like kind of frenemies.
Yeah.
What would happen? Give us some.
Yeah. What do you think?
Like,
What do you think?
write us an episode real
I
quick.
mean, would she go like crazy? Would she turn into, isn't she the Dark Phoenix? Would she turn into the Dark Phoenix?
I only have to go off storylines. In X2, she jumps off that plane and she stops the water from killing all the mutants, and that's when she like becomes Jean Grey. So you could argue that if she would have been dating Logan, he'd have been like, "Listen, let's just get on my motorcycle and go find my brother."
But I also, what if Wolverine was the actual height Wolverine's supposed to be, like 5'3"?
Yes, and she's
And-
literally 2 heads taller than him.
Yes.
It's a great visual.
I like it, and also he doesn't age, so
Yeah.
that would have been interesting how they handle that. If I'm not mistaken, I mean, this is some spoiler alert, I guess, for some of these X-Men movies. In Days of Future Past, no, he doesn't get her. He fixes everything. Spoiler alert for Days of Future Past,
Yeah.
and he comes back, and Cyclops and her are dating. So even in that new world, he still never got her.
Maybe Cyclops has a mental break and kind of goes rogue on all of them, and then it's
Not Rogue.
I was going to say
not the other rogue.
Cyclops could be. I don't know. Throw this in the universe where Cyclops is like a villain.
Yeah.
You never know.
Yeah, I like it. All right. X-Men focus. What if Andy?
All right.
What you got?
Dan gave me a preview of this question like a week ago, and I still didn't come up with it until he started talking right when you played his voicemail. So
Just now.
let's go with this. What if Thor went for the head?
Oh, so in your scenario of Infinity War, he gets him.
He's gone.
He kills Thanos.
And the Avengers take the stones.
Yep.
What happens from there?
And then
Maybe
they take the stones and they
Endgame is obviously doesn't really happen.
No,
maybe
it's called like Beginning Game.
So Disney
like-
loses like $2 billion.
The best movie ever. It doesn't happen, but I mean, you could have some storylines like what are the Avengers going to do with those stones? What do you
Yeah,
think?
because in that scenario, Thanos had gone around and actually collected the actual Infinity Stones. They weren't like from time. They would have never even experienced time travel.
Yep.
Or anything like that. Well, I mean, everything like Mike just said wouldn't have opened up, like Loki and everything we know. So like a lot would have been a whole different slate of Disney Marvel shows.
It's like they'd be like everything would be pushed up. I feel like maybe phase 4, but like the current phase would have started a year ago. Who knows where we'd be at, what villains would be in play. But
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, I prefer what really happened.
Mike, well, you say that, but Mike, the coolest thing about your what if is Tony Stark would still be alive.
Oh, damn. It's true.
And Black
A
Widow.
lot of people.
A lot of people
well,
would be alive.
well, yeah, but they all came back. I'm just saying, like, the
Yeah.
forever gone.
Yeah.
Loki would have still died because that's why Thor went and got him. So that our version of Loki would have still
Yes,
been dead.
This would be drastically different. But my main, like, if I had to write an episode on it, would be what the Avengers would do with the stones. I feel like
Yes.
there would be. We have Civil War where they have a fight on what to do with the Sokovia Accords. I feel like something similar might happen with these, where
With even more power.
certain people want to use them for certain things. Other
Yep.
people are like, destroy them.
I think they would go like a Justice League route and they just split them up. And they're like, we'll keep some on Asgard and Odin's vault like they did the first time.
Just put everything back where it was.
But just put it back. He's dead.
Vision, you can have it in your head again.
Yeah, Vision, you can just still be Vision. I like it. Any other plot points from that one?
I don't know. I'm trying to think what villain would step in from there.
Yeah, because if Thanos goes down,
Kang.
I guess it'd just be, I don't know. We're just following the.
I mean, he knew it was going to happen. So
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
okay.
maybe everything would have gone as usual though. He'd have been like, "Well, we just keep on going now."
Yeah, he wouldn't have heard like little changes.
I'll tell you this: what else wouldn't have happened? Big movie coming up right here in November. The Eternals only awoken, at least per the trailer, because of the second blip. The energy that it took to bring everybody back is what apparently like awakens the deviants. I think.
Might be right.
Well,
I just want to shout out to Dan P though, because this is a great question. Something that I thought
Very
about
good.
as soon as the show came out, and I think I texted you guys saying that I want to somehow make up our own or whatever. So
yeah.
appreciate it, Dan. And
Great.
also, I'm drinking a nice Diet Dr. Pepper, which is one of Dan's favorite drinks from what I remember from college.
Yeah.
Non-alcoholic, of course. So
Of course. Would you like to keep like praising Dan, or like, do I get to tell mine?
I would love to hear yours.
Because I did think of it.
I have no idea what it is. So.
Mine is pretty simple. I would like to see what if Tony Stark was exposed to gamma radiation and became the Incredible Hulk, and not Bruce Banner.
Wow.
Like if like somehow they end up like in a similar lab, Tony's the one that gets affected. All of a sudden he's hulking out now. You might get like a Bruce Banner type, like Iron Man.
Would his suit grow? Would you have his suit grow?
He'd probably have a Hulkbuster suit that was like for him to
Yeah.
Hulk out in and be the Hulk inside of a suit.
Dangerous.
Like
The ultimate weapon.
Nanotech.
unstoppable. And can wield the stones. Even and he wouldn't have definitely died then, because he'd have been like, I am Iron Hulk.
Whoa.
And he would have been fine. He just would have had his arm in a sling.
Should we hit up Disney? I think we just had 3 tremendous ideas.
I think these
that
are
should be
really
in season
good.
2.
I like that. I don't know what else would happen, but I just know I'd like to see all the adventures of Iron Hulk.
I would too.
Dan P., our Patreon guy, one of the people giving us money to do this show, helping us with our upgrades and helping us keep the wheels moving over here. Dan, thanks so much. You too can get a voicemail feature just like that. We'll talk about your topic. We'll put it on the table, and we'll see where it goes. I love it. Tangent City, 754 call log. That's 754-225-5564. Save it in your phone as Mostly Superheroes, and we can't wait to hear from you. All right, let's talk about the news.
News and rumors.
Just one piece of news today. Excited to talk about this. It's fall. Today is the last day of summer, folks, here on Tuesday when we're recording. And like Mike said, it's our favorite time of year, especially here in St. Louis. Summers are brutal. We got the leaves falling. We got Halloween around the corner. And now we have Halloween Kills, the trailer drop for the new movie. This is from comicbook.com. Sorry, I just wanted to read this person's name. Kofi Outlaw.
Is that real?
That's
love
the
that
name,
name.
Kofi. That's why I stopped. I was like, does that say Corey? No, it's Kofi Outlaw. This came out just yesterday, September 20th. Halloween Kills final trailer released. I don't know if I had seen the first one, I'll be honest. Did you guys see the first
I think
trailer?
I did.
Did you guys see the first trailer for this?
Mhm.
And we talked about these movies last Halloween. Do you guys, where you guys sit on this? PC Mike, do you like these?
I think it's much better than the Rob Zombie versions.
Well, the Rob Zombies, yeah. Those
But
are,
then
I don't even know what's
didn't
going on with
something
those.
blow our mind the other day that Shang-Chi like overtook Rob Zombie's Halloween as the #1 watched movie on
Labor
Labor Day
weekend.
weekend from 2007. The only one that it beat out. Yeah, hilarious. Which is because me and Carrie rewatched all the Halloweens last year. I think I talked about them on the show, and those two, I was like, I just don't know why Rob Zombie did this. I don't need this. I'm in for these movies.
Yes, I think it's a different spin and I like it.
Absolutely. Right from the article, just give you a little teaser, just so you know, this is going to be one of those simultaneous releases. And for once, we're not talking about Disney Plus or HBO Max. This is going to be Peacock and in theaters October 15th. So just a couple weeks before Halloween. This is Halloween Kills. And this is picking up right where the last movie dropped off. So this is straight from the article. From the returning filmmaking team responsible for the 2018 global phenomenon, Halloween Kills is written by Scott Teems and Danny McBride and David Gordon Green, based on the characters created by John Carpenter and Deborah Hill. The film was directed by David Gordon Green and produced by Malik Akkad, Jason Blum, and Bill Block. The executive producers, John Carpenter, Jamie Lee Curtis, Danny McBride, David Gordon Green, and Ryan Freeman. So Jamie Lee Curtis, I didn't know that she was one of the producers on the show. She's actually in the movie. And did you guys remember how the last one ends? Which I forget what the title even exactly was.
Locked in the basement, and they
set the house on fire.
Yep. And, spoiler alert for that one, which I don't remember the exact title of that one.
I'll look it up.
Look it up for us real quick, because this picks up right after that. Apparently, when they locked him in that basement, again, spoiler alert for the Halloween movie before this, they set the thing on fire.
I think it's just Halloween.
I think it was too.
Yeah,
and it's Jamie Lee Curtis. It picks up with her. It involves her family now, her daughter, her granddaughter, and they had to team up and burn him to a crisp. And what do you know? He's not dead.
Yeah, but it was a cool spin because they kind of got rid of all the other movies except Halloween 1 and 2, I want to say. Didn't we talk about this for like an hour?
We went all through the continuity of last year.
Because
no, we did. We talked about every single one, and me and Carrie rewatched like this Jamie Lee Curtis storyline because there's ones in there that are absolutely not related to Jamie Lee Curtis. Like there's
Halloween 3 Season of the Witch is
Season of the Witch. There's a few more.
Paul Rudd, Halloween 6, The Curse of Michael Myers.
Yeah, that one has nothing to do with the storyline.
But
with Jamie Lee Curtis.
It does have Dr. Loomis in it, who dies in Halloween 6. So
Dr. Loomis, bring him back. Yeah, I like that.
This guy knows.
Yeah, you're really on it.
Yeah. I'm not even looking at my computer right
I know.
now.
I could tell.
Then there were Halloween 4 and 5 was about that little girl. Like that, those were awful.
Yeah.
And then 6 I liked a lot because it was a little different, a little edgier, had Paul Rudd. And then I think it gets into Halloween H2O.
Yeah, H2O. So fun.
H2O was good. But then Resurrection after that was awful.
H2O with Busta Rhymes.
Busta Rhymes was in
Resurrection.
So good. They're
H2O was LL Cool J.
LL Cool J.
Yep.
So fun. So fun. It's so funny. I watched these things as a kid. And I wasn't one of the people that were like going crazy about it. Like Will over at Bustin' with the Boys. He loves this. This is like his go-to Halloween costume. Oh, congratulations, Will. They announced publicly they're having a baby girl. We'll give it up.
For the girls.
Yeah. I saw on Twitter he's already referring to his new baby girl as the girl because everybody calls him the boy. Congratulations. But Halloween, he loved this stuff, and I did too, but like I'm getting more into this as an adult. I'm like, this is getting like after me and Carrie we watched them last year, I'm here for this movie. It was so fun. Giggler, where do you stand with these things?
It's like one of those things that's just so dumb, but you just keep watching.
Sure.
I just can't stop because I've seen so many in the past. It's kind of like I feel this way about the Saw movies too, where I want to see if they release another Saw movie in 10 years, I will see it because I've seen like the 7 or 8 prior.
Isn't that a thing? Like, didn't they bring those back?
Yeah. There's like a Chris Rock one that was just released that I have not seen.
Okay.
But I heard good things, but I have not got around to seeing it yet. But I popped on Below Deck on Peacock last night. Saw this was on there, like preview or whatever. Coming out on October 5th. So I'm in.
I did not realize this was going to Peacock.
Yeah. It's wild.
I don't even have to leave my house now.
Oh, and guess what? I make this big. I mean, this was the movie of the summers. I'm sorry. Summer of the movies. Movie of the summer.
In fall.
In fall. No, summer at the movies. Andy, we went like 7 weeks in a row, I feel like at a certain point.
Exactly.
Even when I went to the movie 1 week and didn't get to see Suicide Squad because me and Carrie missed the screening, I still count that week because I was in the theater. I still watched that Suicide Squad on HBO Max that first day because I was sitting there on a Thursday night, which this will be the same thing. It'll probably be October 15th. What day is that? Is that a Thursday probably?
Got it.
It probably is if it's coming out movie day that day.
It's a Friday.
It's a Friday. So here we go.
Thursday.
I don't know. I feel like it's going to be one of those that's going to be very easy to put on at home now. But we'll see.
Oh, yeah. Exactly. Same token. Like I would not see this in theaters.
Okay.
So it's kind of like one of those things where I would
what about you, Mike?
See it on Peacock.
Oh, I'll watch it, but my significant other hates horror movies, so I'll just watch it by myself.
Oh, man. Scary.
I mean,
it's scary to watch a scary movie by yourself.
She's there. She's just upstairs probably, and I'm a grown adult.
Have a pizza party here and watch it.
That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
Or his basement's better than mine.
We can do it, Mike.
We might have to move the podcast there.
Pupper Bricks.
Pupper Bricks. All right, Halloween Kills, October 15th. Mark your calendars. Coming to theaters, coming to Peacock. We can't wait for it. Yeah, we'll definitely be talking about it. Let's talk about what we're watching.
What you watching?
What you watching? This is where we tell you what we're watching, what we're reading each and every week. And we got a few titles for you today. Can't wait to hear about this one on Netflix. I've seen it. I love it. It's called Clickbait. Andy, let's do it in 2 rounds. Spoiler-free take. So if a person's out there right now and they're thinking about watching it, what would you say to them without spoiling it?
This is a must watch for everyone, and I have no idea why. I just looked at the ratings like, overall and stuff. I can't believe they're not better. This is the first time I looked at that, but everyone I talk to this is one of the shows that you're texting about. Oh, did you see this show? Oh, I'm not done yet. Don't say anything. Like you have to watch this. I think it seems that good, but
it's a great spoiler for review. I mean, you're like, get out here and watch it.
I also have 2 episodes left, so keep it all. Yeah, so keep everything spoiler free. Technically,
well, and you haven't seen it at all, so we really need to keep it spoiler free in general. And I'll just add to your comment. I've seen this too. I've watched it all the way through. I don't know if I'd put it in like the top, 20 things I've ever seen. I don't even know if I put it in the top.
Definitely.
It might make the top 10 shows I've watched this year. Maybe I'd have to run down the list, but it might be like make or break, yes or no. But I think that anybody can enjoy this TV show. This is would you agree that it's a modern take on the thriller genre?
Oh yeah, exactly. And I think that's what, like you said earlier, like a few weeks ago, that's what you guys have been
did I talk about it?
Thrillers? No, you guys just been, that's what you guys have been all in on lately. And I mean, this is exactly the type of thing that you get addicted to and just want to binge quickly. Like we haven't had time to watch the last 2 episodes, like the last few days, and every hour Steph's like, hey, are we watching Clickbait tonight? And I'm like, we have time.
Yeah, you're gonna have to do it tonight. You just need to get home and watch it tonight. Wrap it up.
I hope so.
All right. Let's give it the premise for folks that might be into this.
Give me the premise.
You want to know what's going on, right? Okay, so we got the poster here on the screen. Tell me this guy's name from Entourage.
Adrian Grenier or something like that.
Adrian Grenier. Good job. Andy's giving you the nod. So
Adrian G.
Adrian G. So if you watched Entourage, he's the main dude. He's on the front of this. The poster reads, he's in front of a camera. At 5 million views, I die. You basically have the premise right now. Okay. This guy's a son. He's a husband. He's a brother. He's a everyday guy. He works at a physical therapy place. He coaches volleyball, and he goes missing. And he turns up literally like the next day on a random, like well-hidden YouTube channel. 5 million views, I die. Then there's another sign, I hurt women. Then there's a third sign, I killed a woman. Boom, that's the show. And you follow the sister, you follow the police that are investigating it, you follow the wife that has like maybe a little bit more to hide than what she's telling.
How many episodes is this?
8.
I was going to say 8 to 10. I really don't exactly remember.
It's 8. Yeah, 8. I'm on 6 right now.
So you got 2 left. And that's like, I'm not going to like fanboy out about this thing right now and go crazy, but it was one that I had a very good time watching all the way through to the end.
Hundo P. I wish there was just a plethora of shows that were like this.
That's exactly it.
I mean, there probably is. I just need to find them.
You need to go to this show on Netflix and then scroll down to the more like this.
Yeah, you're right. Honestly.
All right, Mike, you gonna watch it?
I usually say yes, and I usually lie, but yes, this has me interested.
And
because I think it's the lying over
I would
here.
assume Stephanie watched this one.
Yeah,
you said Stephanie.
Yeah.
Rachel will.
I think she will like it.
All right, there you go. Any final thoughts, Andy, on this one? It sounds like it's going to be on Mike's list, and you're going to let us know.
Can you give it a rating?
Yeah, I could give it a rating without spoiling it. I would give this a solid 2.9.
Mine's going to be higher, probably, but we'll see.
I guess you should wait. What would you rate it right now?
I don't know.
Like before you finish it.
It's definitely above 3.
See, like I was, Mike, I might bump that up to a solid 3.0
Thank
even,
you.
honestly.
Because 3 is like the make or break.
It is usually make or break, but like 2, I feel like it still can be worth your time. Like,
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
And I like thrillers, so.
That's what, I mean, if you like this genre, you're going to have, and I feel like what I like about the show is they do a really good job of incorporating technology in the most realistic way I've seen in a TV show ever.
That's cool.
Like to where you're actually like, this is how people use their phones for once, instead of just like the, blanket text they show or like weird like thing like screens that don't look real. This felt like that's exactly what people would do. I feel like they did a good job.
That's a good point. And it's the whole thing is just, I was like, all right, 5 million views, the guy dies. Like, I don't trust the world. Like I would, if this happened in real life, he'd be dead immediately. I feel like the world would be too like curious, and everyone would watch the video.
Well, we're not going to talk about what happens yet, but whenever you come back, we're doing a spoiler-filled review.
Okay.
So Mike needs to catch up quick.
Yes.
We'll see. All right, next up, Clickbait. That's on Netflix. Fans, let us know if you've watched it, if you've seen it, what you think. Before we get into any more titles, there's been some travels lately. Mike's been taking trips.
Hell yeah.
I have been taking some trips.
Let's talk about your first one to good old Kansas City, Missouri. What happened?
Went to the Chiefs home opener. Got a ticket by one of my good buddies, and it was too hard to pass up, but the game was at 3:30. I did not return to my house in St. Louis until midnight, so Monday was not a fun day.
You worked.
I did work. I
You were-
did go in.
You were exhausted.
I wasn't as tired as I thought I would be because I was smart and was a responsible adult,
Yes.
but I was dragging. I was dragging till about Tuesday.
Who did the Chiefs play, and how did it go?
They played the Browns. They came back and won a lot better than this Sunday night when they lost by 1 to the Ravens. But
nice way to work that in.
Things happen. People lose, and it's Arrowhead's something. If you've never been, go.
I was gonna say, was Arrowhead? I have been to one game there, and it was louder than what I had imagined based on the rumors of how loud it is. Did it perform?
Yeah, I mean it was sold out. The Browns fans were a little mouthy because Chiefs were down mostly the whole game. Defense is awful right now, so teams are going to be in it. But yeah, I mean, it was rocking, fireworks, came back, won. I mean, you just can't beat it. You really can't.
And you had so much fun at the NFL football game that you were like, I'm going to go ahead and go to my alma mater and watch the Mizzou Tigers play in Columbia.
The next weekend, went with my wife and a couple friends, and they brought their son for his first game, and we went and watched Mizzou take on SEMO, southeastern Missouri.
That's a local school.
A little bit. And
a little bit, yeah.
They won by like 30-something. We only stayed till halftime, but it was good to see. It was good to be back. I haven't seen that pictures of the new end zone. Hadn't seen that. So
Did you tailgate?
No, did
You
not
didn't do
tailgate
the
because
lot-
the
you
game
didn't-
was at 11. And
We used to.
yeah, there used to be not kids involved.
You used to not have to commute 2 hours to
We
the
used to.
game.
We
Yeah.
get to Lot X. That's
But
at like 7 a.m. up.
But we walked around. It was a different view of the stadium because I got to see other things.
New
Like I got to see
upgrades.
the outsides. I got to see the upgrades.
And who'd they play? How'd it go?
SEMO.
Oh,
They played
sorry,
SEMO,
and they won.
They won by like
Oh,
it was
yeah.
like 58 or 51 or something to 30 something
Ouch.
or 20 something.
Can I have
SEMO scored 21 points in the fourth when the subs were.
Okay.
Can I get a breakdown of like the places that you went while you were there, just to give me a little
Um,
nostalgia
This is
feel?
this is
Or
really
were
for
you
some
just
local.
like in and out?
So you're talking about
did
Columbia, Missouri?
We did eat at
Just real quick.
a local restaurant after the game called Booch's. We had some burgers at
Uh-huh.
Booch's,
I knew
one
you
of
were
the
gonna
most
say that.
famous ones.
You didn't go to Shakespeare's Pizza?
Did not go to Shakespeare's. Went to a Mexican restaurant downtown because it was game weekend, so it was pretty busy. It was parents' weekend.
No penny pitchers?
Nope, that's on Thursdays. And then went to a nice little cocktail bar across the street. Hotel is not the greatest, so didn't stay there very long. And then went to the game, and then we actually came back Saturday night, so it was a nice little quick trip.
Man, did you go to Mizzou too?
Uh-huh.
Oh, did you really? Where's your hot spots? Carrie did too.
Shoot, Big 12.
Mm-hmm. Harpo's?
Yeah, Harpo's, Willie's.
Oh, stopped in Shot Bar for one.
I'd
And
never-
just
yeah,
for
I've
you
been there once.
listeners, we got listeners all around the world. We're talking about Columbia, Missouri. It's a college town where both you guys went to college. I didn't go to college there myself, but I partied there for 4 years like I did.
Went to the columns, took pictures at the columns with people.
Oh,
and stuff.
nice.
So it was nice. It was a different take than it usually is when I go
Well,
up there.
and good for you for getting out there. And I bet it was really fun to be in those stadiums.
It was hot.
Hot.
That's why I'm glad
It's over.
Paul's here.
That's why you're glad summer's over.
Yeah,
All right,
buddy.
let's talk about some TV. Kind of in this good transition from sports to wrestling world. Andy talked about this show on Stars several weeks ago. I think this will still be like spoiler free because I don't think you're caught up. I still haven't seen it, and I'm starting to maybe get interested. Mike, tell us about Heels on Stars, where you are, and how it's going.
I'm current on Heels. I think we're 6 episodes in,
What?
and you are starting to see the characters evolve. Stephen Amell is great. He is from Canada in real life, but he is from Georgia in this, and he brings it. The wrestling is amazing. CM Punk is in it. Mick Foley was just in it. James Harrison is
love
playing a
that.
bigger and bigger role, who used to play in the NFL, and it's huge. The minor characters are getting a step up, and you're seeing their storylines, and you're kind of seeing how people interact in the business. Like, do you want to sell your soul and go big, or do you want to be loyal? And is it more about family? Is it more about being true to yourself? or is it kind of screw everybody else? I'm going for myself.
Really great synopsis. Would you agree with that, Andy?
I'm gonna watch it.
How many have you seen?
I've only seen the first one still.
Still?
Yeah.
That's not a good testament.
That's when he said 6, I was like, I can't believe it was that long ago.
I bet that lit a fire under you, though.
It's just, yeah, I'm ready. I love Stephen Amell, and he's been like being in character on Twitter a lot recently.
Oh, nice.
It's really funny.
I think he's wrestling at an AEW event.
He's been kind of teasing it, yeah.
Him, as his Jack Spade or whatever.
So he's showing up to wrestling events in character.
Basically. He wrestled at WWE SummerSlam a couple years ago. Like, he's not bad. Like, he's really good.
He's a freak athlete.
He's so he's doing kayfabe.
Yep.
Kind of.
Mm-hmm.
But hey, look at me.
This
I can
guy,
learn.
he's
I can
staying.
learn wrestling stuff.
But a lot of people
I was very impressed
A
by
lot
that.
of people aren't staying in kayfabe lately, so it's cool to see.
Like people in the actual industry of wrestling?
Yeah.
Who's breaking it?
Alexa Bliss.
And are people calling her out about it?
I am right now.
This is it.
No, but she's dating Ryan Cabrera, and she posts like, I love Ryan Cabrera all the time, but she's supposed to be this bad heel that's demented on WWE TV.
That's too far off.
And she's breaking the culture. All right, heels on stars, folks. Do you know how many they're going to be, Mike?
I will look it up.
Because you're 6 in, we could assume maybe 8 to 10. I really don't know. I don't really know what stars typically does. I am not a wrestling guy, but like talking to you guys about it and just hearing that Stephen Amell is in this, Green Arrow, man, come on. I don't think it's a hard push for me to watch this. 8. All right, so come back and tell us how it goes. And Andy, you got to get caught up so you guys can talk spoilers.
Well, here's the good thing. The next episode does not air till October 3rd.
So you got
some time.
A little bit of time. I mean, not much. Not much. All right, heels on stars. Wrestling, non-wrestling fans out there, if you're watching it, let us know. We'll keep talking about it. We'll keep you apprised. And then I had a couple of light, funny things to talk about. First of all, you may have heard, if you follow us on Twitter, I kind of talked about this. If you have not seen Shang-Chi, here comes a major spoiler for the movie. So if you haven't seen Shang-Chi, this is a big character that shows up. There's your spoiler alert. Already did it. Trevor Slattery, he's back. Played by, what's his name? Ben Kingsley, right?
You got it.
Yes.
Is it Ben Kingsley?
Yeah.
He plays Trevor Slattery. He was in Iron Man 3. He was the Mandarin. I'm using air quotes, which I don't know if you guys can see. My hands are getting a little better.
Oh yeah.
And I got the stitches out.
Nice. Congrats.
Got the they look gross. Really bad scars that are really gross. But anyway, he was the Mandarin. It's not perfect, Andy.
I know. It works.
It works. It works good enough. And he's obviously the fake Mandarin. And you learn all about this in Shang-Chi. We have a full review of it. Go check it out. And the movie's coming to Disney. Plus, I just saw on November
12th.
November 12th with that's Disney Day. There's a whole plethora of things. We got a list in the Mostly Superhero Squad. Go check it out. And got that from Stranded Panda, another podcast out there. And this I came across on the Disney Plus app. I was just kind of poking around, as I do from time to time. And I found this title, this Marvel Studios cinematic one-shot, All Hail the King. Have you guys seen this? Are you aware of it?
No.
Are you aware of it?
I know what it is. I had not seen it, though.
It's 8 or 9 minutes. This is the most wild, bizarre thing. So Iron Man 3, right? This came out in, 2015 or 16, something like that. I think Iron Man 3 did. And Trevor Slattery, you meet the character, the Mandarin. He's an actor. He's not the Mandarin. And you're like, what happened to him? And All Hail the King is this 9-minute little Marvel snapshot, like they call it, or actually they call it one shot, where he's in prison and a reporter comes to question him. I'll be honest, it's kind of dumb. Like, it's kind of stupid. Felt like kind of slapstick, but like the guy is funny, and it's got to be. I think it's MCU canon. They got Marvel Studios just slapped on this thing. And then obviously you do see the character come back in Shang-Chi. So I just thought it was funny to highlight that there is definitely like a mini little trilogy here following this guy's story arc.
Is there a purpose of it?
The only purpose was like you get like some questions about like who he is, but it's mainly just to poke fun at him and see like what he's doing after the events of Iron Man 3 in prison. And he's kind of like, he's got a following, he's got fans, but just had to talk about it with this being mostly superheroes and this being a Marvel title. And I was really more curious if you had seen it, Andy, but it sounds like you haven't.
No, I've heard about it, and I just remember somebody said that you should watch it before a certain thing, but I never did. So that's super vague. But
this is not a must watch at all. This is if you got 9 minutes to kill, which like I certainly did. Like it's definitely worth that.
9 minutes.
Yeah. Hey, but after watching Shang-Chi, I was definitely like, I want to watch this because you get some backstory in Shang-Chi of how he ends up where he ends up. But it's out there. It's on Disney Plus. Go check it out if you want. If you don't, you're not going to really miss out on anything. This is not like a must watch, like I said. And then last thing I had is actually not TV. Mike inspired me to share some of my outings as of late. Me and Carrie are concert heads. We love to see live music, just like I know Mike does. Andy, I believe you do as well. And we saw The Used and Coheed and Cambria, who I'm showing here on the screen, at St. Louis Music Park, a brand new venue here locally up in like near Maryland Heights. And if you haven't been out there yet and you've been to the Riverport out there, which is now called the Hollywood Amphitheater.
Casino Amphitheater, yeah.
It's basically just about a third the size of that. It's the same exact style amphitheater. It's pretty cool. It's pretty epic. Got some photos here on the screen. And The Used, I will say, I think this place may have been a little too big for them. I think if you see them at like a smaller venue here locally, like the Pageant or Del Mar, probably get more out of it. But I will say this: I have never seen Coheed and Cambria before. Scotty was there. We went with a big group of friends.
Nice.
And this is apparently one of his favorite bands. He's seen them like upwards of 15 times.
Crazy.
And I see exactly why, dude. These guys shredded.
Yeah.
Like I'm not really familiar with their music. I remember like a song on Guitar Hero.
Yeah, they have like 2 or 3 mainstream hits.
And yeah, exactly, like radio songs.
Mhm.
But the other 90%, man, they're just jamming up there, and it was epic. Have you guys ever seen them? Are you guys Coheed fans?
I maybe saw them at a Point Fest like 10 years ago, but I couldn't tell you if I did or not.
Andy?
I heard of them, but it's only from working at Circuit City and alphabetizing CDs.
There's so many layers that you just dropped. You worked at Circuit City?
I think you've said this before. I feel
2005 to 2007,
and then
baby.
your roommate has dabbled at Best Buy before. You guys are quite.
Oh, yeah.
You guys, anybody work at Sam Goody over there?
Radio
Not
Shack.
that I know of. I was a April 2006 Employee of the Month. Not a big deal.
Wow,
Whoa.
you sold the most like
Still have the
surge.
plaque.
You sold the most surge protectors.
I don't know what I did to deserve that.
They gave you a helicopter ride to go to Hawaii and see
No,
where Jurassic Park was filmed?
You actually, you were the only employee to tuck in your shirt.
I didn't get anything because I left to go back to college one year and then they went out of business. So
Yeah, that's what Circuit City did.
Rip.
Yeah.
Rip.
R.I.P. baby. All right, well, if you guys get the chance to see Coheed again, I will say don't be afraid to go to that show. They are just up there doing their thing, and I would happily see them again. And Andy, make sure you bring in some of your action
Show
stuff.
and tell.
Show and tell
Deal.
stuff.
All
Yeah,
right.
yeah. I like hearing about the music we see, the sporting events we go to. We'll incorporate that in the show.
I have an insane weekend ahead, so I'll be sure to take pictures.
What are you doing?
I have a triathlon Saturday morning.
Are you doing it?
Not an athletic triathlon. It is it
Oh.
is athletic.
What is
Little
it?
golf, 2-man teams. Me and my buddy Zach are playing 7:30 tee off, 18 holes. Then we go to a bowling alley at 1:00, bowl 2 games. And then
I like how you go. It is athletic.
3 we play a bags tournament for the final round, and I guess there's some sort of scoring, and there's money on the line, so I'm pumped.
So you're gonna be drinking all day.
Which is yeah, exactly. And then I go straight to a different like charity bags tournament that we go to every year, and
On
then,
the same day?
And then Sunday I have a charity golf tournament all day.
Oh my, Andy, you are
You're
gonna
going to
be
feel like poop.
Yeah,
I
you're gonna be
know.
feeling
I'm-
real bad Monday. You're gonna be so tired.
I might take the day off.
You might have to if I know you. All right, well, keep us posted on your very athletic triathlon. Can't wait to hear about it. And fans, let us know what you're out there doing, and we want to hear about what you're watching, what you're reading, but we want to hear about what you're doing. If you're going to a cool place, send us a picture, send us a video, and tell us about it, and we'll put it right into the show, man. We love hearing about this stuff. Let's talk about some Titans.
The meat.
Did you notice that we're not taking a break, Andy? I told Mike earlier, I was like, we're just going to go straight through.
All one take.
We're all one take, all of us. It's time for the meat, folks. The chunk, the sizzle. It's why you came. It's why you're here. And it's time to get into the DC universe. HBO Max has a series that they picked up from DC Universe. We're 8 episodes in on this thing. This one's called Home. The show is called Titans. This is season 3, episode 8. The description reads, as an emboldened Crane looks to filter his position through Gotham's water system, Starfire, still plagued by visions, enlists Blackfire and Superboy's help, and Gar finally tracks down Jason. Let's talk about it. You guys weren't in here for my breakdown this over the weekend when I talked about episode 7, and we talked about 51% and what happens. We already broke that one open. That review's over in our DC library at mostlysuperheroes.com/DCU. This week, let's talk about it. I've talked about this with you guys already on the show. I am enjoying it. The pacing is good. I think anytime you're popping around Gotham City in an HBO show, it is just fun. There's a lot of cool stuff, but the storyline itself has been a little spotty for me. I rewatched it today. I think you rewatched it today.
Yep.
And Mike's seen this thing, of course, and I'm going to need your help to kind of get us through. Let's just make sure we understand where we are so that we can be ready to go into episode 9. How's that sound?
Yes, sir.
All right, so basically where it left off in episode 7 was the Titans end up finding Crane at Mr. Freeze's old headquarters, Snowy Cones. Haven't got to talk to you guys about this, where like I literally thought Mr. Freeze was going to make it into the show, and he didn't.
I was excited for a sec.
Another stupid Gotham tease, just like with Batman or anything else. They just like they give you hints of stuff, but they're like, oh, it's not Mr. Freeze, it's just his old headquarters.
Where is he now, though? Has he been?
Great question. No one even like says where Victor Freeze is. Like he's got to be in prison.
But I wonder if they're trying to do something new. Like that's a Batman villain.
Mm-hmm.
And they're kind of trying to get the Titans villains, I guess. I don't know.
It's weird. But either way, the Titans end up finding out Crane's plan. Crane's got Red Hood, a.k.a. Jason Todd, basically held hostage, and they bust up the whole plan. They shut down the processing of all this gas. I'll go in. I don't know if I said it yet, but spoiler alert for the show, basically. Obviously, we're busting it wide open. And the Titans get a win at the end of the day. But Crane gets away. Red Hood is still with them. And this one picks up. Oh, and Dick gets a romantic little fling with Barbara Gordon going. They're kissing. This one picks up right where that one left off. Basically, it opens up with the Titans now have a Titan signal,
Like a T.
like a bat signal, but now it's a T, which is like straight out of the cartoon. I feel like.
And they said they wanted to make it bigger than Batman's too.
Bigger
At
than
one point.
just a big T. I thought it was interesting that they did like a circle with a T in it and not just like a T light, but whatever. That was fine. And that's where it opens up is Dick's like watching the news and him and Barbara are supposed to go to some gala. But as he's leaving the house to go meet her at this gala, who shows up at their house? Tim Drake. And he basically knocks on the door and he says, I know Bruce Wayne's Batman. I know that you were Robin. I know that you were Nightwing, and I want to be Robin.
Mm-hmm. And he lays out all these pictures of like, I was there when your parents died.
Yeah,
You're the only person that can do this trick.
You did this one-arm trick.
You did the meat hook or something like that is what he called it.
And then I see Robin do it. And then I see Nightwing do it. And he's like, yeah, those guys just had to copy my moves. I was like, that's your best excuse to get out of this is Robin copied your moves.
And he's like, I know Jason Todd was Robin because he walks like this.
And that gets Dick onto a lead to say, like, I'm going to go try to find Jason now.
But they also do drop a little penguin thing as well.
Tell us.
Like he brings out the newspaper and it's like, Robin and Batman take down Penguin. He's like, I read this article and I started putting stuff together. So there's another old Batman villain
that they mention offhand. So Dick says, all right, I'm going to go out and I'm going to find Jason Todd. I've got a little lead on him now. And Barbara's back at her office. Like, I guess you're not going to go to this gala with me. And also my ceiling's leaking some water. And it will be the whole episode for some reason. Still don't know. Can't wait to get to that part. And whenever Dick is chasing down Jason, he's on his motorcycle and he sees him. And when he sees him, he's like, I'm just going to go after him. So he rips his motorcycle. What's he do? He pulls out into a street without looking. And you know what happens when you do that?
You get in an accident.
You get into an accident. You get hit by a car. This thing smokes him.
It really does.
Hard.
I mean, he got thrown 25 feet. And as he's passing out, he's laying there. Jason Todd comes up, looking down at him. And then, boom, he's gone. We don't know where he went. Dick wakes up in the hospital. Barbara's there. And he's like, we got to go out there and find him. She's like, you can't leave the hospital only if you can read this sign. And as he's reading the eye test sign, and as he's reading the eye test sign, all of a sudden, all of the letters turn into a bat, like in his mind. So are we thinking that like Jason, like may have slipped him a little gas or something? We don't really know. We just know that he sees it. He pretends it doesn't happen and he gets out of the hospital.
I don't think so. I was thinking about that. I think he's just
like his
I think he's
demons
just
or something?
concussed.
He's just concussed, you think?
Yeah.
No. There's more going on because he sees a lot more throughout the episode.
I've had a concussion before. Hand up. Have. Did not see bat symbols. I wish I did.
I did.
How cool would that be if you're reading the sign?
Really cool.
It almost looked like a Warshak kind of thing, like coming
Oh,
together.
yeah, for sure.
But he gets out of the hospital and basically he's taking a taxi like back to Wayne Manor, and this is where he calls Barbara. Barbara's back at her office. She's still having this crazy water leak at her desk, and he has another vision. As he's getting out at Wayne Manor, he sees a young boy dressed up in like the Robin outfit. I guess it's him. It's supposed to be him, I guess.
I think so, yeah.
Do you remember what he said? The little boy said?
No, I don't.
It's something about like what happened to the tunnels or what happened to the road, and he's having these visions of him as a young kid as he's trying to track down Jason. Trying to think like if I want to keep going with the Dick storyline or if we should pop over to like Blackfire and Starfire. Starfire. Okay, so hey, we get some super sex in this thing.
Just breaking that bed.
Just going for it. Blackfire, Connor Kent, aka Superboy. I mean, they're like together now. They're hooking up. They're doing the nasty.
We watched him lose his V card.
Yeah, he's no longer.
He's no longer.
For later in the episode, spoiler alert.
Yeah, I mean, I knew because I was like, yeah, because you meet him at season 2 when he like gets out of the lab and like he's been with the Titans like ever since. So he's just like a little baby out. Like,
dude's got needs though.
Yeah, and he's like, I'm Superman, I'm Lex, I can figure this out. And who interrupts kind of their sexual moment? Starfire's still having visions.
She's mad,
and she's like getting ready to fire her sister. She wakes her up, and then they decide to put her back in that tanning bed that like helps her get into her brain.
I think I've seen that one before where the sister walks. Never mind.
That was good. So the plan's like, hey, put me back in this tanning bed memory thing. And what does she do? She ends up stealing a car again and driving to where? Wasn't this the most confusing storyline ever? Like she gets out of the car. She's like, you guys let me drive? And Superboy and Blackfire are like, yeah, it seemed like you wanted to come here.
And then you're just hanging out at this spot for a while.
What was that spot?
Hopefully we find out a lot next episode.
Hopefully so. Superboy and Blackfire have a whole heart-to-heart about him losing his virginity to her, and they're going to basically still hang out. That's fine.
So their storyline's done for the episode.
That's pretty much it for them. Beast Boy, Gar Logan is his name. We found out in episode 7. I don't know if you guys saw that. So
I love it.
Pretty cool. He went and saw Molly, Jason Todd's friend, and says like, hey, help me find this guy. What does he do? He has Molly text Jason Todd and says like, where are you, Jason? I need to find you. I don't think he ever goes to see her in this episode. What's he do instead?
This is wild. You had to explain this to me. You had to sit me down like a small child and explain this to me.
I mean, I'm trying to like really. I've seen this episode twice, and I saw it 20 minutes ago. That's what I'm talking about. Like it gets a little hairy. What does he do? He says, "I want to be a Titan again." Basically, he's like having remorse. How do they show you Jason Todd's having remorse? Basically, he goes to what I'm taking as kind of like a whorehouse of sorts. That's really not for you to go and like hook up. Sorry, this is a R-rated show, just FYI. So if you're listening to this with your kids, like there's some like graphic stuff in here. Like we've already said some. There's more. So in this scene, there's a man. It's like a window. You pay and you get to watch these two people like do stuff. And the couple on the other side of the glass of Jason Todd, the guy's like, "What do you want? What do you want to see? We can do the nasty. We can do this. We can do this." And Jason's like, "I don't want to do any of that. I'm here to talk." And he goes, "What do you want to talk about?" And he goes, "I want to call you Hank, and I want to call you Dawn." And he's like, "All right, whatever you want." And he goes, "Hey, Hank, I'm really sorry." And the guy goes, "It's okay." And the guy goes, and Jason goes, "For killing you." And the guy goes, "I'm out of here." And he leaves, and the girl's like, "Hey, maybe that guy had it coming." And Jason's like, "He didn't." And the girl's like, "Well, were you on drugs?" And Jason's like, "Doesn't matter." And she goes, "You know what? I've done some really stupid stuff on drugs." And I was like, "No way." And she goes, "You know, in my experience, the only type of place that you'll ever get forgiven for this type of thing, ding, 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 is the episode title. It's called Home." She says, "You have to go home." And basically, she goes, "You're out of time, big guy." And the window closes. I was like, that was so fast.
So weird.
So weird. And he's like, that's not really an option. But he decides, I'm going to make it an option. So how does he do this? He goes to the tunnels where Batman showed his Robins like there's underground tunnels to help you get around. And both of the Robins know this, and so they both end up there. That's what I'm getting.
Tunnel travel.
Do you see anything? Was there anything else that I'm missing about like how Dick goes to the tunnel and he's going in, right? Well, first, okay, Jason Todd, first he goes to Jonathan Crane, Scarecrow.
Turns on him. Well, I guess.
He essentially turns on him, essentially, right? He finds him. Jonathan Crane has a what's this called?
Jackhammer?
A jackhammer. Okay, and he's trying to break into the water system still. Can we just say it out loud? They're stealing the story directly from Batman Begins.
I mean, this water system in Gotham is more messed up than Flint, Michigan's.
Well, this is exactly what happens in Batman
Facts.
Begins. This is Scarecrow gets into the water system. It's the same thing. The only thing you're missing is, Ra's al Ghul, but still.
Wait, I'm pretty sure, didn't Gar tell Dick where to meet him? So maybe
because he found out from Molly.
Yes,
probably.
that's it. That's got to be it. We're connecting the dots there.
And also Tim Drake helped him with a lead of like where he was with like whenever, because like Tim Drake saw Jason Todd the night that his dad got shot.
Yep.
Outside, and I feel like that helped him too. But I think you're right. It's more like Gar got info from Molly, looped him in.
I think that's what happened. I remember Gar walking in and like saying that he needs to meet Jason. He's like, "Do you want us to come with you or something like that?" He was like, "No, I got
Did we
it."
talk about how they like saw how Jason walked and then they followed the person that walked like that?
That was exactly it. Tim Drake's like, well, he walked like Robin.
Yeah.
I studied him too. He's been studying Robins his whole life.
And then so Dick called Barbara Gordon's like, did a guy walk weird?
Yeah. And then that's when he's like, all right, I'm going to go to the old tunnels. And he gets down in the tunnels and, I talked about Jason Todd before he gets in the tunnels. He finds Jason Crane with the jackhammer and he's like, I'm done with you, knocks him out, punches him, and he meets Dick essentially down in the bat tunnels. Jonathan Crane, by the way, he wakes up from this being knocked out, and a worker from the factory, from the water mill,
very nice,
a very nice man, was like, hey, get out of here. And Jonathan Crane's like, I was just sleeping in here. And he's
gives
like,
him a yogurt.
He's like, oh, well, here, just get on up. You're all right. Here's my yogurt.
Did he already say he already mixed it up? Did he say that? Did I miss that part? He's like, it's already mixed up for you.
Oh my gosh.
I don't know if he did.
I eat those. I actually eat those yogurts.
Could be
for breakfast. So I know what you mean.
You gotta mix them up.
You gotta
Greek yogurt.
You gotta stir them up. And he finds out that he was using the wrong type of jackhammer. First of all, he's like, you were using a concrete jackhammer instead of a steel one. And I was like, I thought you were like a genius. And so what's he do? He kills this guy. What's he do after that? He goes to see a therapist, AKA his mother.
So weird.
And tries to get her to like get him straight again. He's like, give me one of your pep talks, Mom. And she's like, I'm done with this. It's over. Like, you are so crazy. You don't even exist to me. I have a new son. He's better. Something like that. And what does she do? He's in her lap having like a breakdown, and she like glances up. Apparently she was working with the police for like, if he ever comes to see you, push this button, which she does. What does he do? Starfire says he forced her to kill herself. She goes, Scarecrow forced his own mom to kill herself. I just watched it for the second time.
Okay, I missed that.
And I'm like, what did he do to get her to kill herself? Either way, though,
I just saw her back like,
her neck just like cracked. Yeah. Either way, he kills her, right? And gets out of there. And what's he do? He gets out his phone and he goes, you know what? I put a tracker on Red Hood because I put a lot of work into making you. And he goes, I'm going to find you. And where's that lead him? Down to the tunnels, where he overhears this conversation between Jason Todd and Dick, where Dick's on the walkie-talkie, remember? He's on the walkie-talkie using the speaker system. And he's like, I want to come home. And Dick's like, you killed Hank. And he's like, that was the gas. And he's like, you give me Crane, you can come home. And Crane overhears this whole thing. Dick goes back to the Titans and he says, we're going to make this deal. And they're like, are you kidding me? He killed Hank. And he's like, yeah, but we got to get these two in our hands regardless. So like, let's figure it out later, which I'm like, yeah, exactly.
Family. I thought Vin Diesel was in the room for a second.
Family. Yeah, Gar's like, I killed people and nobody really said anything about that.
well, you're turning into like a dog or
You're a tiger.
wolf tiger.
And Starfire tells Dick as he's like leaving, he's like, hey, listen, you said you were going to be a better Batman. You know what that means, right? Either you don't kill or you do kill. So decide. And we're like, okay, we'll see what happens. So they go back to the water main, and this is where I get a little mixed up, but I know that a couple things happen. For one, Jonathan Crane is like back there at the water main. He's had like time to set up, I feel like.
Mhm.
And while he's set up, Tim Drake comes in because he's been following him. Because he told Dick, I was like, remember whenever he
He's like,
spotted,
I'll find Scarecrow and I'll find Red Hood.
because he spotted Dick going into the tunnels, and he goes, I know about these tunnels. I know about Batman using these tunnels. I studied Batman.
How has no one done this besides Tim?
Right.
Yeah.
That's what I'm like. This kid's like 16 and he's
Figured it all out
Yeah.
because of a move. And he says, I'm going to go find him. Well, he does. He finds Crane. They literally are staring at each other in the parking lot. And Crane's like, pulls out his gun and just pops him. He gets shot right in the back. Titans show up. They go in for like to presumably fight Crane. Gar, Beast Boy, stays with Tim Drake, so we don't know if he's actually going to die, but he was like definitely bleeding out. Bullet went straight through because Connor Kent does his x-ray vision. And inside, Starfire runs in, sees Crane running through the water main, and uses her fire blast. And Dick's like, don't! As if he knows. And what happens? It blows up. All the poison, all the fear gas is just there, like set up, waiting. And it goes right into the main water main, the main one, Dick says. Like for all of Gotham. It's a pipe like this big.
what do we do now?
And she goes, are you telling me I just dosed the whole city? And he's like, yeah.
And then where's it cut to?
Guess what, guys? Barbara Gordon's desk
Is wet.
is soaking wet.
She's just sitting there like, what a Monday.
Thank goodness she was like on the other side of the room, or she'd just be sitting there soaked in it. And it's just pouring down on her desk. And
Last shot
of the episode, she's sitting there looking at, like Andy said during Patreon, like she's sitting there looking at it with this wild look on her face. And I think you're spot on. It seems like maybe the fear is already taking effect, maybe, because she has this really weird look on her face. The water's pouring. She looks up out the window, and what do we see from the beginning of the episode? The Titan's light, the T in the sky, is now a full shade of red.
Symbolism.
End of episode.
I'll give it up.
It's just clunky.
Yeah, I mean, I know it took a while to get to that, so sorry, but like, I mean, did we miss any big parts? Do we feel like we understand the story? What are you thinking, PC Mike?
I feel like we understand the story, but it's just clunky as heck.
Super
Like,
clunky.
Like, why are we at these different places? Like, can we not get like a linear story? I get that every TV show has a main storyline,
Right.
and then there's one or two little offshoots. All right, Starfire's doing her thing, and Superboy and all that. Whatever, that's fine. But then we just get so much crazy stuff, and how they end up here, and it's just falling so perfect that Jonathan Crane heard them in the sewers, and it's the same plan that they had in Batman Begins about the water system
And the
like,
water and the gas.
Yeah.
Giggler, what are you thinking about this?
Yeah, we just need to have a few questions answered. Like, how does this, like, what do you drink the water and then it affects you? Do you just need to be around it? I don't know. Those are things that I don't know how they would have addressed that yet. I mean, it could be the first thing they address next week. Who knows?
Yeah.
But,
do you think they're going to do like an antidote steam? Like they're going to steam the water system and antidote everybody?
I hope they don't. I don't know. I don't want them to take from Batman Begins too much, and I don't think they will. I think that they're trying to do the complete opposite of that, just like we said with like the villains. I think they're doing their own thing, try to give some screen time to the people that we don't see, villains and heroes. So, and also like just right, like was that just symbolism of the red thing or the red sign? Like, or
was it actually
like,
red?
Yeah.
Is she seeing red now? Like,
Right.
that would indicate that she fears the Titans, maybe. I don't, or am I just making?
She did
shit
have
up?
like a little devious look on her face. I don't know if that's anything. Maybe she's just mad about the
Well,
water flooding her office. But
Didn't you say on your most recent episode that you still think
our
that she's
most recent episode? It's still our show.
You're right. You're right.
But yeah, no, I said that. You know, I still have this feeling that Barbara Gordon's bad, and that even though her and Dick are falling in love, like, it's like only setting us up to let us down, right?
I keep going there too, but I don't know. Not confident in it. I'm just kind of going off of trying to predict what would shock us the most. But
Yeah, we're halfway through, and it's weird. Like I said, when I'm watching it, it's a hard show to talk about because it is clunky. But when I'm watching it, I am having a good time. Wouldn't you
Agreed.
agree with that? Like, it's not like you're watching it going, this is a mess. You just feel like a little bit like, well, maybe there should be a little bit more exposition, but I'm still having fun. Like, this Nightwing looks great. The suits are awesome. The powers are cool. And, like, again, anything you're showing me Gotham City, it's great, but I will say the little teases for little Batman villains here and there, and, like, you know, not having Batman at all, it does feel a little bit like it's. I'm stealing this from a lot of people out there. A Batman show with no Batman at all, essentially. But again, it's the Titans.
What's Bruce even doing right now?
Remember when he left? Actually, it wasn't. I said it last week. I got confused because of the flashback episode. I was like, "Oh, he's in London," and I was like, "Wait a minute, no, that's when he flashed back to Jason Todd." The last time we saw Bruce Wayne was he killed the Joker.
Just dropped the crowbar.
Drop. This is episode like 2 or 1. And left, and like that's it, like a true exit. But he'll be back. We're only on episode 8,
But we don't know if he actually killed the Joker with all the lies that he had too.
but it seemed like he did. Remember, because they showed us a flashback to Jonathan Crane in the prison, and they're like, "What happened?" And they're like, "Batman." Either Batman killed the Joker, or they may have just said the Joker killed Robin.
True.
Because I can't remember exactly what happened in that.
Well, I mean, he
episode.
lied about Jason Todd being buried,
Yeah.
or we think,
Yes.
or he just had that random funeral and no one was there.
And
So
he-
that's fishy.
And he's looking for like a new Robin, and Dick's like mad at him, but we saw in the flashback that he didn't want a Robin. He was like, I don't need to have a Robin anymore. This is bad. Like, I don't need kids dying around me, because that's exactly what happened. He died.
a lot of questions.
A lot of questions. A lot to be seen. But episode 9. Do we have an idea of what this will be? We don't know what the title is yet. Probably.
Souls.
Souls, yeah.
It's called Souls.
Yeah.
Ooh. Okay, that's intriguing.
I know it's like you'll get to that middle of the episode and be like, oh, that's why it's called that.
Oh,
Right.
Is it a Ra's al Ghul thing? Like Jason Todd's soul needs to be set free to be actually a person again?
Yeah, exactly. And like, we didn't even really talk a lot about Red Hood because they had that agreement, and then they come back and all hell breaks loose with the water. But like, what actually happened to Jason Todd and Red Hood? Like, was he even in the end of the episode?
I didn't see him.
Remember,
gonna say.
he's like, yeah. He's like, give me Crane. You can come back and live at the house, right? I don't think we see him again.
No.
Like
I think-
like Crane just did his thing. Like, did
I
he
think
take
you
him
might
or
be
something?
right. We might, the soul might be surrounding Jason. See if he still has one or what. If he's just gone. I mean, obviously, it seems like he's still there to some capacity if he's wanting to come home. But this also might be part of their trick because they've had a one up on him the whole time. Basically, I mean, you said last week in our episode,
Yeah,
that oh man, where's I going with that?
with Red Hood,
Yeah,
with Jason Todd, like Barbara Gordon being bad, saving him, redeeming him.
I totally lost my train of thought.
That's okay. I do that all the time.
I was thinking of two things at once, and the other one just deleted from my brain.
Well, we are definitely talking about, if we're going to bring back this, if Jason Todd's going to be redeemable or not, because that is a big question. Like, good guys always do this, right? They're always like, okay, we can forgive you, but like, you killed one of our teammates like just days ago.
Yeah.
Do you guys have other friends out there that are watching this, like, that are enjoying it? Like, would you tell someone at this point in to like watch it, or like, it's like we need to finish this thing to kind of see what happens?
I know for a fact I have a friend or two watching it,
Mm-hmm.
and they're kind of the same sentiment as us. Like, he struggled to get through season 2.
Oh yeah, I'm sure.
But so this is 100 times better, but it's starting to get a little muddled.
Yeah.
Let's
Remember the-
write the course.
Remember the first 3?
Bangers. It's
Hasn't-
like
hasn't been good that good since.
let's spend 95% of our brain power on the first 3 episodes, and then you know what? Let's do the water thing again.
And then maybe they're like, don't worry, the last 3.
Yeah, I think we're just building here, and it's gonna pop off at the end. And can you imagine, like, with how good the initial episodes were, the finale isn't gonna be below that in terms of like what we're looking for. So,
I agree. I think the finale and like, I hate that we're jumping ahead, but like the middle is just a little messy. We've said it. We said we don't need a dog on it too much. This is also what we'll also talking about TV shows 1 week at a time.
Yeah.
It's like you can overanalyze. So
if we waited to binge this thing, it'd probably be like, oh, okay. They explained it at the beginning of episode 9.
you just move right through
Yep.
it. And you know what? We probably will binge it one day. I'm already getting like the inkling to like go back and binge like all the MCU stuff. WandaVision, Falcon Winter Soldier. I was like, I'm just gonna binge these things.
Doom Patrol comes out this week.
Me and Carrie just restarted it.
Attaboy.
So Doom Patrol, also HBO, could be a absolute. I mean, it is a crossover with this show. They're in the same universe. Beast Boy came from Doom Patrol. You guys remember the episode of?
And they were all in this Earth Prime.
On CW?
On CW.
I don't know if we're allowed to count that anymore.
I know, but I'm going to bring it up every time we can.
I always say, don't let them forget that we saw them do that.
Yes.
All right, guys, HBO Max, Titans. We'll talk about season 3, episode 9 next week. It's titled Souls. And that review, along with this one and all of our DC stuff, is at mostlysuperheroes.com/DCU. That's our DC Universe library. Reviews, connections, breakdowns, explanation videos, everything is there. And go check it out. We'll keep the DC rocking and rolling on Mostly Superheroes. Let's talk about what's coming up. Woo, that was tough.
Mm-hmm.
Like embarrassingly tough. Like for watching it twice, I felt like you guys gave me some mad compliments. I feel like in the beginning of the season, but I'm also an advocate for I remember something pretty well when I really, really love it.
Mm-hmm.
And that's just the truth.
Yeah.
But we're going to keep talking about it. I hope that the series picks back up, and we will be talking about it each and every week. That's Titans on HBO. MCU, so much happening, so much to talk about. We have just recently talked about Shang-Chi. I'm not done talking about it yet because it was so good, and now it's coming to Disney Plus on November 12th for free. Shouldn't be. It's not Premier Access. Sounds like it'll be totally free. So mark your calendars. If you haven't seen this thing yet, we might have to do like another mini review or something. Actually, what I want is I want to hear from some fans. If you're out there and you're going to watch this thing, send us in your review, call into the studio phone, write us on Facebook in the Mostly Superhero Squad. Let us know, and we'll feature your review of Shang-Chi if you're watching it at home. And then Eternals, November 5th. That's right around the corner. And I didn't get to talk to you guys about the Hawkeye trailer, I don't believe, for November 24th, but it's a Christmas TV show.
Christmassy, yeah.
Yeah, can't wait. The next big thing, though, this is the hot item right now. We need to buy our tickets and go see Venom Let There Be Carnage.
Yes.
Are you excited?
Yes.
I've talked to some other friends.
Mike's coming with us.
You guys are movie guys.
Are you going to go?
Possibly.
Have you guys heard things about the end credit scene?
Only that it's how great it is, but I haven't.
Me too. That's all I know is that it's like, wow.
Interesting.
And I have predictions of what that means, and I've heard like inklings of what it means, but I'm like, I don't want to assume anything. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to buy our tickets. This movie comes out October 1st. Guys, go see this thing. I'm pretty sure this is a theater-only release. And we got a crew going to this one. I had some other friends reach out, and they said they wanted to go watch it with us.
Done.
So we're going to do a little crew movie time.
I love it.
And then we'll do a full review of this, and we'll just see what happens. But let's just put it this way. It's no accident that this next slide is up next. Phase Zero, comicbook.com podcast just recently announced they're doing a Spider-Man rewatch party. Like pretty much every week from now, starting September 28th, all the way through to December, to watch Spider-Man No Way Home that'll come out in theaters. And basically, it's all the Sony movies. So we're going to do this along with them, guys, starting next week. Looking at you two, mark your calendars. Listener, you too, September 28th, the first movie, Spider-Man. I think that's a Monday, the 28th. It's a Tuesday. So we'll watch the movie maybe on that Tuesday whenever Phase Zero does, and then we'll review it when we're in the studio that week.
I have stars.
You do?
Yeah.
Yeah, because this is going to be a big experiment for all of us as we're like pulling it up on our TVs to like, I know we talked about where to watch these, and hopefully that helped people. That's like 3 episodes ago. But like, this is going to be the real moment of all of us. We're going to know for sure after this.
It's on the main page of Amazon Prime right now.
It is. Mm-hmm. So we're talking about Spider-Man 2002, Tobey Maguire, the Sam Raimi film, the first of the trilogy. That's what we'll start with. That'll get us into October, and then we'll pick up The Amazing Spider-Man with Andrew Garfield. They also have Spider-Man Homecoming and Far From Home.
We just did those, didn't we?
We just did those. I'll probably personally still watch them, though,
Maybe.
Just before No Way Home, just because Far From Home, it seems like is the cliffhanger for the movie. Don't you think? Like the end credit scene?
100%.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And I still want to do Into the Spider-Verse, so we'll work that into here, too.
They're every 2 weeks, so that wouldn't be too bad.
That is, I know. I thought it was every week for a minute. And I was like, man, it's going to be kind of tough. But every 2 weeks isn't bad. Guys, we have this, the visuals up right now on our screen if you watch on YouTube, Facebook. But you can find this in the Mostly Superhero Squad as well. And honestly, we took this schedule right from Phase Zero. So that's a comicbook.com podcast. You can find it at comicbook.com, hosted by Brandon Davis. And Phase Zero is on all the socials, of course. But I'm pretty excited to see these Spider-Man films because it has been a minute. It's probably been every bit of 10 years since I've seen any of these.
Well, speaking of what ifs that we're creating, what if we do all of this and Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield are not in the movie?
Then we still got the reviews on our in the Sony Spider-Verse library is going to be the next page, I think, on the website. So we'll have at least plenty of reviews for that.
I know. I'm just saying.
And also, I mean, again, I'm not trying to. I mean, I'm just saying I don't know what's going to happen, but
you never know.
Venom. I don't know. I don't know anything. I can't wait to see this thing. I hope it's time.
Stop it.
I want to see Tom Holland, Spider-Man, Tobey Maguire, Spider-Man, Andrew Garfield all face off against Venom. I want to see it on screen.
Okay.
I'm like, I know it.
Or would it be Carnage? Because Venom's kind of a good guy.
Kind of an anti-hero.
Yeah. He's like a Deadpool.
Oh, man. Even cool. I want it. I want this. It's crazy.
Maybe the symbiote. Is a symbiote? Is that what they're
called?
We'll get it eventually. I mean, even they're already saying now that like the next Venom movie is going to explore the multiverse.
I've heard that, but
I don't know if that's...
I don't even want to hear about that yet.
Yeah.
Until I see this movie.
Why are they even talking about that right now? That's
because
stupid.
I think this end credit scene, maybe, we don't know though. We're just going to go see it.
Yeah.
Either way, Spider-Man, Spider-Verse is taking over here. I love it. I mean, you're going to have to reprise your Halloween outfit maybe for the Halloween special.
I can do that. I have a backup too, so...
All right, guys, another week. Good to have you guys back in the studio. And this was episode 39 of our second season. So next week will be episode 40.
Hey.
Wow.
How crazy is that?
It's been 40 weeks and...
We got to be approaching like 100 episodes.
Yeah, it's coming. It's really close. Like we're within like 10 or 15 episodes. So we'll do something special for episode 100 for sure. Can you even believe it?
We never got that cake for 1 year, so maybe we'll save it.
Yeah, we just got a picture of a cake. But I'm having too much fun with you guys, so I'm happy to be celebrating these milestones with you. We're going to keep going. We got big plans for season 3 kicking off in 2022, and Spider-Man will be the last movie we watch right before we go into that new year, new season, and just another round of talking about stuff that we love. So, Giggler, why don't you give us a little sign off? Tell the fans that you love them like you always do, but any other thoughts before we get out of here?
I love you all.
I love that.
I hope you have great weekends as I'm about to when I win my athletic triathlon, and then my golf tournament on Sunday, and then just drill that right into Monday with a nice, just lazy Monday.
Yeah, it sounds pretty good.
It's my favorite thing is a lazy Sunday. If I'm not going to have that,
what do you call it? Pizza
shit Sunday.
Yeah.
But like if I'm going to be golfing all day,
pizza shit Monday.
Yeah, just going to delay it all.
Well, so. we wish you best of luck. Make sure if you're going to see a lot of friends and stuff, make sure you plug the pod. Maybe wear the shirt.
Dude, I plug it to everyone. I mean, even you this weekend, just networking to people that are cosplaying Star Wars at a charity event. Unreal.
We went to a walk here in St. Louis to support a cure for Huntington's disease. And there on the side, like I was related. I was like, oh, this must be unrelated. It was related. They were all there for the walk too. It was a whole group of like very, very professional Star Wars cosplay players. You had Star Troopers, you had an Ewok, you had a Wookiee, some Jedi, and who did they ask to take their picture but me? And I get up there and I, snap this. I was like, make your best Wookiee noise, do this. And then they were like, hey, thanks, photographer guy. And as I walked off, I was like, just do it. I was like, hey, just so you guys know, there's a podcast called Mostly Superheroes. And they were so dead silent. And I literally just walked off. But
check the views this week for the listens.
There was actually a spike. I'm not even kidding. And there were about 15 of them. So I want to say, a few of them were like, I'm going to go watch that. I'll check it out once.
You got all the Ewoks.
I mean, I couldn't. It was the moment.
Dude, they had to be so hot in those costumes.
I was sweating in shorts and a t-shirt.
It was hot.
I can't even imagine.
PC Mike, sign off for the squad.
If you have not started it, watch Ted Lasso. It just last night won 7 Emmys. It's a great show. It's a feel-great show. Not even feel good, feel-great show. Watch Ted Lasso. TV's getting ready to start humming. Stay up to date. Our What You Watchings might be a little lacking because all the new shows are keeping up with them. But go watch Ted Lasso if you have not.
Apple TV Plus. Carrie and I just started. I started it over. Carrie is watching it for the first time, and first episode in, she goes, "This is a great show." I go, "It is."
Yeah.
So must watch. Season 2's done, right? Or no, it's still happening.
It's still happening. Mm-hmm. Episode 9 was last Friday, so episode 10. I don't know how many they do.
Yeah, I'm a couple behind.
I think it's 10, but definitely must watch. Thank you, PC Mike. Thank you, the Giggler. Thank you to our listeners out there that are subscribing on Patreon and Pandora and Spotify, Facebook, wherever the hell you're watching us, listening to us. We can't say thanks enough. The show's really coming together. We're hitting our stride, and I know that we're having so much fun breaking it open with you guys and bringing more variety into the show. I think we do a good job of trying to be honest about what we're actually watching, what we like. This is mostly superheroes, but we'll try to keep it across the board. Come back and see us next week for Season 2, Episode 40, and we'll see you next time. Take it easy.